Hi there everyone, and welcome back to the Why Music Podcast, the podcast where we explore different musicians and their music throughout history. Today we're going to learn about someone who is often called the Grandmaster of Calypso. Today we're going to learn about the one and only Lord Kitchener. So like many other musicians that we've looked at over the past couple of seasons, Lord Kitchener wasn't his real name. His real name was Aldwyn Roberts, and he was born on the 18th of April in 1922. Lord Kitchener was born in the country of Trinidad and Tobago, and specifically on the island of Trinidad in an area called Arima. He grew up singing and playing the guitar and quickly became a popular performer in the area. He won the Arima's Calypso competition when he was only 15 years old. And it was around that time that he started to become known as Lord Kitchener. During this point in his life, he was starting to develop his style, and he started to become well known for how he would include political messages within his music. Now, of course, not everyone was happy about this, but nonetheless, he became very, very popular, and he travelled outside of Trinidad and Tobago a few times during and after World War II in places like Jamaica, Aruba, and New York in America. As many of you might know, after World War II, England needed a lot of people to come and to help to rebuild the economy and to help to rebuild the country. And so they reached out to people from across the world, people who were a part of the British Empire at that time, to come and to live and to work. On the 21st of June 1948, a boat called the Empire Windrush landed in Tilbury in Essex, carrying over 1,000 people, including calypsonians such as Lord Beginner and Lord Woodbine, to begin a new life in London, sparking what has now been called the Windrush generation. Not only was Lord Kitchener on the boat, but he was actually interviewed by Pathé News when he came off the ship, and he sang a song. This is what it sounded like.
Right now, yes. London is the place for me. London, this lovely city. You can go to France or America, India, Asia or Australia, but you must come back to London city. Well, believe me, I am speaking broad-mindedly. I am glad to know my mother country. I've been traveling the countries years ago, but this is the place I wanted to know, darling, London. This is the place for me.
He settled in as best as he could, and he was soon performing across the UK and appeared on the BBC many times in the 1950s, helping to spread calypso music around England and connecting to the Caribbean community in England and back home as well. While he was in England, he wrote a lot of music and recorded a lot of songs too, including the finished version of the song that you just heard when he was on the steps of the Empire Windrush called London is the Place for Me. Other songs that he wrote included Underground Train, If You're Brown, and The Birth of Ghana. In some of his songs, he spoke about some of the racism that he saw and experienced himself. And in other songs, he spoke about Trinidad and Tobago, Caribbean culture, and even cricket. In fact, the song called Manchester Football Double tells us about the football teams Manchester United and Manchester City. Have a listen to this song, but remember this is from the 1950s, so any references to any footballers that he makes, you might not recognise them.
3 cheers for the city of Manchester. I raise my hat with hilarity to manager McDowell and Matt Busby. Their names must go down in history for good management consistently. They got the secret, they got the brain, as to put Manchester on top again. When speaking of good football, they can never beat Manchester at all. Hooray, hurrah! Johnson and Tommy Taylor. Hooray, hurrah! 3 cheers for the
It's songs like these and musicians like Lord Kitchener who are really important to not only help us to remember and to understand what life was like in the 1950s and 1960s in England, but also from the perspective of a Caribbean man coming from the Caribbean to live in England as well. these perspectives and the art created around them are really, really important. Lord Kitchener didn't stay in England for the rest of his life. He returned back to Trinidad in 1962 and he established himself as the premier calypsonian in Trinidad, winning the Road March competition 10 times in 13 years. He was also crowned Calypso King in 1975, and he transitioned into playing soca music, which is a style that originated in Trinidad and Tobago itself. His most famous commercial song was actually released in 1977, and it is still played and danced to and enjoyed to this day. Unfortunately though, after a long career inspiring many, he passed away in the year 2000, but his legacy lives on through his music and the many musicians that he influenced in Trinidad and Tobago and all over the world. To remember him and to preserve his legacy, in 2009, the Lord Kitchener Auditorium was officially opened as part of a national plan for Trinidad and Tobago to help to develop arts and culture. And there's also a statue of him in Port of Spain, which is the capital of Trinidad and Tobago. During his career, he released over 35 albums, and in 2018, a book was written about his life. So now, I have a few questions for you. Question number 1. What do you think it was like for Lord Kitchener and other people who were on the Empire Windrush waiting to get to their new home? What do you think they would have been feeling? What do you think they might have thought England was going to be like when they arrived? Question number 2. Lord Kitchener wrote songs about cricket and football like we've already discussed. Why don't you think many musicians don't write whole songs about the LA Rams or the NBA Finals or the Formula 1 World Championship, for example? And question number 3. Lord Kitchener's song was called London is the Place for Me. But the question I have for you is this: where is the place for you? And before we go, I have a quick fact for you. Tell me something good. Lord Kitchener, growing up, actually had a stutter. And I think it's an important point to point out that even though you might have a stutter or a stammer, or you might be a little bit hesitant to speak in public, that doesn't have to be a barrier to your dreams at all. After all, there's so many examples of people who have battled through different things when they were younger, and they've made great music, great art, and been great people in the world. So don't forget, if you do have a stutter or a stammer, that doesn't have to be a barrier between you and your dreams. Thank you for listening to this episode. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I really hope you've enjoyed season 2. This was the last episode in season 2, and I really hope that you've enjoyed it and you've learned a lot about different musicians and their music throughout history. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Feel free to leave a comment and to share it with your friends as well. And we'll be back with season 3 later on in 2022. So until then, be good to yourselves. Listen to some great music. Go and check out Lord Kitchener. Find him on YouTube and you'll find some really great performances and other songs by him as well. And thank you one more time for everyone who has taken time out of their day to listen to this podcast. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to making some more episodes for you in the near future. So until then, peace.